Absolutely nothing about the midterm elections was helpful for me at all.
Florida's newly reelected Governor Rick Scott and Attorney General Pam Bondi oppose same-sex marriage, the Affordable Care Act, and expanding Medicaid in Florida. For Flagler College senior Jamaica Delane, the issues on this month's ballot hit close to home.
I don't have health care right now because I can't afford it. And it's more important right now for my baby to have health care and for there to be food in the house. So
Delane lives with her fiance, Alyssa Black, their 7 cats, and their 6-year-old daughter, Jaxie. Delane's daughter has chronic lung disease and foreshortened limbs. The 2014 election results might not only affect their future, but their day-to-day life.
Are there pros to Rick Scott's re-election? I can't think of any pros. Well, pros for me. Pros for people who aren't like me, who are in the 1%. I'm pretty sure it's great, you know. He wants to lower taxes and do a lot of great things for those people. But I am nowhere near the 1%. So there are no pros for me for Rick Scott being reelected.
Delane struggles to make ends meet with her current paycheck. She lives with her family in a trailer in St. Augustine, and they rely on food stamps to help them get by.
When it comes to government assistance, it is definitely helpful right now in this time in my life because I need it. You know, I'm a college student. I have a daughter. I have a fiance, and right now it's necessary. It's not something that I want to have for the rest of my life, but I need it right now. Like me having food stamps is very helpful because I don't have to worry about how we're going to buy food. You know, Jaxie having Medicaid through the state is helpful because we don't have to worry about how we're going to pay $100+ for one of her inhalers, and she needs 2.
In addition to her full-time student schedule, Delane works around 30 hours per week at the Tommy Bahama department store and 6 hours per week at Flagler College's Residence Life office.
What I make at Flagler is minimum wage, but that's more of that's backup money because we were living off of what I made from Tommy Bahama before I started working at Flagler. So at Flagler, I make minimum wage. And then when I go to Tommy Bahama, I make $10 an hour. Even still, it's not a living wage because I still technically live right at the poverty line. So raising the minimum wage would have been helpful for me because then Tommy Bahama would have felt the need to raise what they pay us because their whole shtick is that they don't pay their employees minimum wage, so they pay their employees more.
Even with higher wages, Delane is still forced to choose between having health care and putting food on the table. By going without, her family is able to have a little more.
I have Medicaid, and so does our daughter. She has Staywell, and I have United Healthcare.
I don't have health care. I can't. Me getting health care would possibly diminish the amount of food stamps we get and the amount of coverage that Allie and Jax receive for health care. So
which stinks, but
yeah, I took one for the team, I guess.
Delane and Black say they are doing the best they can under the circumstances and are looking forward to a bright future.
I'm not trying to get married next week or anything like that. I do want to graduate college first, and that's something that we've discussed. For me, marriage is a piece of paper, but I do understand why it's important. I can't say right now that I want to get married right now, but I know that I do want to spend the rest of my life with her. So we will get married. I'm not staying here. We're not staying here. But if we were, that would ruin a lot. It's hard to know that you can't just do that. What I love is not the government's business, and it should have nothing to do with the government at all.
You know, it shouldn't even matter, if you want to get married or not. You should just be able to have the option.
Yeah, that's what's important.
It shouldn't even be a question of having the option. Even if you don't feel like you're a person who wants to get married, you shouldn't have to think to yourself and realize, oh, well, even if I wanted to get married, I couldn't.
I have to go 5 states over.
Yeah.
Dr. Rachel Cremona is an associate professor of political science at Flagler College. She thinks the current marriage ban will receive change at the national level.
I think the ban on same-sex marriage is pretty much done. The big question, I think, will be whether in 2016 you get a president that will be willing to acknowledge that at the federal level, to pass a law that recognizes same-sex marriage at the federal level.
Delane and Black say they are a family, with or without a piece of paper. I'm Emily Topper for So Not a Millennial Moment.